I'm Malcolm Van Delst, and this is an excerpt from Do the Wrong Thing, a book series or extra long novel that opens with a woman describing her suicide attempt as ordinary, like brushing my teeth. In an attempt to answer the question, why did I do it? She tells her life story. We're about a third through book 4, working title, Eyes of Different Colors. Thanks for having patience with the repeating material as I work through a new order for this section of the book. Last week, Emily's friend dyed Ava's hair Lego brick red. This is the end of that chapter, and if there's time, the start of the next. I've changed the name of that chapter from can't think of a name for this chapter, but the previous one was getting long, so I'm adding a new chapter here to Dread. In Lascaux, at a small, unassuming house in a neighborhood close to the late-night clubs and bars, a pixie-like woman named Lucy invites me in. "Do you want to smoke some pot?" she asks. Lascaux is across the border from Arbor in another province. Alcohol can be served until 3 a.m. there, while in Arbor, things shut down at 1. "No thanks," I respond, surprised. I've never had a hairdresser offer me drugs, even if they're doing the work in their living room. "It's true that I'm going to be here for at least 4 hours," she had warned me on the phone. Dreadlocks aren't easy. Not cheap either, at $50 an hour. "How about a whiskey?" Sure, that'd be great." Lucy smiles and runs to the back of her house. I stare at the TV where Howard the Duck plays. I'm on the glamorous side of the river, getting a hairstyle so exclusive it took me months to find someone who could do it. I'm going to pay a minimum of $200 for it. If the hairdresser is watching Howard the Duck, why not cut straight to the chase and watch sports? Lucy returns with my whiskey. "Thanks," I say. "Is okay?" she asks, waving a joint at me. "Yeah, sure." She lights it, smokes a bit, then stubs it out. "Okay," she says. Dizzy and warm from the whiskey, I look around as Lucy tugs and backcombs my hair. The product she's using is like a darker, thicker version of oatmeal, but smells, as hair products do, incredible. This one's flowery and dense. "I can sell you some of this to take home," she says. "I don't know how well these dreads will take. You might have to come back for a touch-up." I nod. She said the same thing over the phone. "How much is the mud?" I ask, reading the text on the small plastic pot. $10, but it will last forever. You won't use much each time. You can't buy it in stores," she adds. "Sure," I say, and turn back to the beat-up television. What am I missing? Does she think the jokes about women's breasts and the fact that a cartoon duck is macking a stupidly innocent but attractive and kindly girl woman are hip? Maybe francophones don't get how bad the jokes are. My eyes slide from the TV to a pink plastic car that would fit a toddler and a play school truck beside it, over by a wall. Maybe she's straddling children and fashion, cartoons and push-up bras. I finish my whiskey. "Would you like a nutter?" "No," I say, "I'm good." 4 hours later, on the nose, we're done. The dreads are thinner than I wanted. "Thanks," I say, as I hand her the money. Even if I look more like Terence Trent D'Arby than the person in New Musical Express, no one in Arbor has hair like this. I'm the first. Next chapter, a Lennie minute. The light inside the Amtrak train is bright, white even, like we're on a light diffuse set while the cartoon colors of sunny pastures and blue skies zip by on the other side of the windows. I smell plastic, upholstery, and mud. Every morning I reapply the stuff, to my roots mainly. I suppose I don't have to when I'm not working, but when I am, I need to keep my appearance neat. It's bad enough that I have this dirty hairstyle. It's true that I only wash my hair every 2 weeks, if the itching doesn't drive me to it sooner. And even then, I massage with my fingertips only, trying not to disturb the backcombed and matted tubes. I will have to go back to Lucy. I see this when I get home. "Miss?" "Yeah?" "You've been selected for a screening." "Oh, okay." I drop my Art in America magazine and follow the policeman to an empty car at the back of the train. Everyone glances at me as I pass. I'm annoyed, indignant, and if this makes any sense, proud. "Do you have any ID?" I nod. "Can I see it?" I fish my wallet from my bag, pull out my driver's license, and hand it to the officer. "Canadian citizen?" "Yes." "American?" "No." "Where are you headed?" "New York." "For what purpose?" "Visiting. I'm meeting a friend for the weekend." "What is your occupation?" "Waitress." He's taking notes in a black flip-top notepad. He never smiles. You're not going to work? No, indignant. Who is your friend? Gerald Onstand. How do you spell that? Gerald, Ohnstad. What does he do? He's a waiter in Concord. Do you have an address book? Yeah. Can I see it? I pull out my well-worn booklet with its corners and sides rounded from use. I don't know why I'm nervous. He's not going to find the names of criminals in there, at least not major ones. He leaves through the booklet, then hands it back. You know it's against the law to work without a permit? Yes. He gives me the once-over and meets my eyes again. Okay, you can go, he says. Enjoy your trip. Back in my seat, the man next to me smiles when I sit down. Fucking cops, eh? He says. Yeah, I grin. I think he was mostly worried I was going to get a job. The nebbish guy, short brown hair, a medium build, my age or a bit older, wearing a brown baggy leather jacket and khakis, laughs. They got the wrong one, he says. I tilt my head and scrunch my eyebrows together questioningly. I'm an artist, he says, motioning to my magazine. I've lived in New York for almost a year now. No papers or anything. He smiles broadly. My gallery sells my work and puts the money in my Canadian bank account. Wow, I say. That's incredible. What kind of art do you do? He takes out some postcards. You can keep them, he says. Nice, I say, looking at pale abstracts and blues, mauves, and pinks. When I turn it over, it says, Bill Jones, John Silvis Gallery, by appointment only. I look back at Bill. My God, he looks like a middle manager or a bookkeeper for an office furniture supply chain. How is New York? I ask. A trip, he laughs. You've never been? I shake my head. First time. Well, this is how New York is. I live in a loft in a really nice part of town, right? I nod, smiling. It's my friend's, but she's in Europe for a year, so she lets me use it. Stella Hammond, he motions toward my magazine. She's been featured in there. You might have heard of her? I shake my head. Someday I'll get a write-up too, he chuckles. I laugh. Solidarity. Anyway, I moved in a couple months before July 4th last year, and on that weekend, everyone in the building left for the Hamptons. That's what rich people do. Clear out of the city on July 4th weekend. So I was the only one in the building. Early Saturday morning, I'm awakened by a boom. Weird, I think, and lie awake for a bit. Then I hear it again, only it seems a bit louder. 15 minutes or so pass, and I hear it again. Only this time, it's definitely louder. 15 minutes again, and boom, even louder, like it's moving towards me. I get up. I nod, listening. As I'm about to open my bedroom door, boom, and the sound of debris falling on my floor. I quickly shut my door and tiptoe to the window, which I open and crawl out of onto the ledge because, holy shit, someone's just blown a hole in the wall of my loft. Wow, I say. Oh, it gets better. Someone on the street below sees me and starts yelling, jump, jump. The crowd gathers and they all start yelling at me, jump, jump. He laughs. So that's what New York is like. I laugh. Wow, I repeat, crazy. So what happened? What was going on? Well, after a few minutes, I heard boom again, as the guys, they were professional art thieves, blew through my other wall into the next loft. Then I heard sirens, and when I saw the cop cars, I crawled back in. The thieves got away, but were caught a few weeks later. Did you lose anything? $50. I got my wallet and watch back that I'd left on the front door table, minus the money. I suppose I should be insulted that they didn't take any of my art. We both laugh. Insurance patched up the walls pretty quickly and everything went back to normal. Most people got their artworks back. He shakes his head, laughing at the memory. So do you like living in New York, or? I'll love it. Not sure what's going to happen when Stella gets back. Guess I'll find a place in Brooklyn because I can't afford where I am now. We chat a little bit longer. Then he opens his newspaper and me, Art in America. There's an artist in this issue who I'm definitely going to look up. Gerald will approve of these humanish forms with big, misshapen heads, small eyes, and long wishbone-type limbs amongst the swirls of tan and white. Her show is on for one more week, by appointment only, like Bill. I'm going to make one for her.